Let's talk about why you may be scaring people away in conversations and how to fix it without losing your spark. By the end of this video, you're going to discover why people may be pulling away in conversations, the psychology behind it, and research-backed tips to connect without coming across as intimidating or overbearing. Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm a coach and consultant helping professionals just like you master difficult conversations and lead with confidence under pressure. So let's be honest. Have you ever seen someone take a literal step back when you are in the middle of a story? It's like you're talking about your weekend plans and suddenly the other person is acting like you just revealed that you have this pet tarantula named Mr. Fuzzy. The truth is that you might be unintentionally scaring people away in conversations, believe it or not. And not in that boo Halloween kind of way, but in that, wow, this feels intense, that kind of way. Have you ever been in those situations where you've seen that? Or have you been in situations with other people that you see it in them? And here's the kicker here. It's probably not what you're saying, it's how you are saying it. And there's actually science of social back away slowly type of moments. Humans are all wired to scan for social threats, just as much as the physical ones. Psychologists call this threat response, and it's a quick assessment that our brains make when deciding whether to lean in or whether to back off and pull away. According to Dr. Albert Meherbin, his classic communication model, 93% of communication is non-verbal. Yep. Non-verbal. So all of the things that we plan in our head and all the things that we feel like we want to say, it comes down to our non-verbal communication that matters. So it's our tone, it's our body language, it's our facial expressions, and only 7% are those actual words, right? So that means that your energy in the conversation matters, and it matters more than what you've planned on saying out loud. And here's another statistic that might make you sit up a little straighter. A 2018 Harvard study found that people form their first impressions in as little as 7 seconds. Wow, right? Crazy, 7 seconds, and someone can have a total impression of who you are or who they think you are. And those impressions are surprisingly hard to change. So those first impressions really do matter. And if your first few seconds read as, whoa, too intense, or being pushy, you're playing an uphill battle for the rest of the conversation and your future as well, because people remember that. They remember how they met you and what you were like when you first came together, right? So there are common conversation scare habits, believe it or not. So let's call out maybe a few usual suspects that you can send to someone's social radar and put them in overdrive, believe it or not. So the first one is volume creep, and I see this all over the place. You start enthusiastic, but without realizing it, your voice gets louder and louder and louder, right? This is fine if you're at a concert and things are just loud, right? But it's less so when you're in a coffee shop, right? Or you're even on a Zoom call. You could tell how loud someone's getting. If they're trying to put a point together, it's not really becoming. And it kind of, I know for me, it makes me shut down quite a bit. The second one is eye contact lockdown. So that intense, unblinking eye contact, it can make people feel like they're being interrogated and not connected with. So although I'm always talking about on this channel and many of my videos, and you'll see it with other influencers or other individuals trying to teach the value of communication, that eye contact is so important, but not to the detriment of I'm staring you down, right? A third is topic hijacking. So every conversation somehow circles back to your experiences or your achievements, right? People love stories, but they like to share theirs as well. And they just don't always like to talk about you. So when you're hijacking the conversation, always bringing back what they're saying to reference some situation that you're in, that can be a clue as well. A fourth one is you want to pace like you're late for a flight. And that happens all the time. Your pace is fast, you are speaking at rapid fire speed, and that can overwhelm a listener, even if your words are gold. So how do you fix all this, right? We don't want to be the crazy stare down person. We don't want to be the person talking a million miles a minute or talking only about ourselves, or yelling and raising our voice that it sounds like we're a little crazy, right? So here's the good news. You don't have to shrink yourself to make people feel comfortable. All you need to do is you just need to adjust your approach. So some things you could try is something mirror than not mimicking the person. So you want to kind of mirror some of their mannerisms, match the other person's energy level, their tone, their pace. If they're a slower speaker, bring it down a notch. I know you would feel weird talking slower, but they probably won't know, or they appreciate that you're aligning with the way that they speak or the way that they stand or their positioning. It's kind of like this song and dance with each other, right? This is called the chameleon effect. And research from psychological science shows it increases likability and connection because the other person feels like you're just like them, or you know that they can really truly connect. A second area is give conversations air. It's always great to share what's going on with you, but give it air. Think of dialogue like music. Pauses create rhythm. Aim for at 1 to 2 or even 3 second pause after someone finishes speaking before you respond. I know it sounds weird or uncomfortable, especially for us when we're not used to responding that way, but this signals that you're listening and you're not waiting to just respond and to talk, right? A third tip is mind your proximity. Personal space preferences vary, but in general, the rule is about 18 inches to about 4 feet of casual space for conversations. If you're too close, people instinctively lean back and possibly into escape mode. They feel like you're too close, right? So give yourself and that other person a little space to move. You know the individuals that either you're friends with or your colleagues or in your professional circle, you know the people who like to bring it in and hug, and that's okay. But you gotta feel that out. You gotta feel like who's the hugger, who's just the handshake, who needs more space, but start off with more space and then let them kind of guide what they're comfortable with. A fourth tip is lead with curiosity. Don't make the conversation all about you. People like to be heard. I mean, we like to be heard. That's why we talk about ourselves so often, but ask at least 2 follow-up questions for every story that you share. A Harvard Business Review study found that people who ask more questions, they are rated as more likable, especially when those questions are open-ended. So try that. Try asking some questions. And you might be sitting there thinking, why does this even matter for your career or even your relationships? But think about it. Your conversational style, it directly affects your personal brand and how people perceive you. Whether you're networking, you're leading a team, or just trying to make a new friend, the ability to put people at ease is a superpower. I mean, when you think about it, how many people that you meet and you just feel kind of uptight, and then there's others that you meet for the first time and you feel like, wow, I feel like I've known this person forever. It's because of that comfort zone. So a Gallup poll found that employees who feel heard, they're 4.6 more times likely to feel empowered to do their best work. Believe it or not. I think that is so true. So mastering connection isn't just nice, it's a competitive advantage as well. So your conversation reset challenge for this week is try these few things. Maybe check your energy level before each conversation, especially in the first 10 seconds, so be more mindful. Also, count your questions. Aim for at least 2 thoughtful questions before launching into your own stories. And record yourself. Maybe just a voice only, something on your phone. You can easily do that. In casual conversations, and play it back. Notice your tone, your pace, your pauses. You don't have to tell the other person so that they're not like freaked out. But even if you're like practicing conversation with someone, you don't even have to record the actual conversation, but play it back to yourself. How did you sound? I know it sounds really weird when you're listening to yourself. I get it. I do these videos. I listen and watch myself and I think, oh, right? But you got to keep trying, and you got to keep putting yourself out there and trying your best. So some final takeaways here is you don't need to dim your personality to avoid scaring people away, but you just need to fine-tune the details and dial it in when you need to. Bring your enthusiasm. People want to see the real you, but package it in a way that makes people feel seen, heard, and comfortable, and that they feel like it's a comfortable space for them and you to thrive in together. Because in the end, great conversations aren't about dazzling someone. They're not about making them, with your words, like everything sparkle. They're about making the other person walk away thinking, wow, I really loved talking to them, or I really enjoyed my time with them. So if you found this content helpful, if you found this valuable, I hope you got something out of it. Please consider sharing, please consider subscribing, and we will see you all next time.